Greetings, brothers and sisters. I'm doing a pre-introduction here because whilst I was making this video, um, my other video got greened, which I knew it would. Um, YouTube has some kind. They're just I don't know what's going on, but they have their bots that are demonetizing videos, and then it's taken 2-3 days to be seen by a human, which sucks. And some of these things are topical. But my other video is up, which is kind of important because, I'm addressing some of the Trumpers and things. And then I'm going to get into the Trump comments today at the end of this video, hopefully. We'll see what happens timing-wise. But anyways, this video, I'm going to put up 2 large videos today, which is, both of them are going to be an hour long, which sucks, sucks for me, but it's what it is. I mean, for those of you who can have that kind of time, I don't. I don't have the kind of time to listen to me drone on about current events. But for those of you that do, that's great. Otherwise, it is what it is. But the other video I just made public, and this one will hopefully be public by the end of the day. But they might yellow this one, and so who knows when this is going to come out. Today is Tuesday. I believe. Today is Monday, April 10th. So anyways, let's get into it here. Greetings, brothers and sisters. So I covered this on my Apocalypse Now channel yesterday. Bunch of other stuff to get to. TikTok stuff. Hopefully some weird Illuminati stuff either today or tomorrow. And some great Trumper comments and stuff to do with Trump. Dalai Lama speaks out about bizarre videos showing him asking to kiss boy's tongue. And so this was weird. At first I thought it was like a deep fake because it was so weird and just bizarre. But it isn't because he's apologizing. The Dalai Lama has apologized following outcry over kissing a young Indian boy on the lips and asking him to suck his tongue. The spiritual leader's office released a statement on Monday after the footage of the bizarre interaction, which occurred last month during an event for India's M3M Foundation, went viral on social media. The statement says he wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as his many friends across the world, for the hurt his words have caused. According to CNN, this is where it gets weird. His Holiness often teases people. He meets in an innocent and playful way. What? Even in public and before cameras, a statement read, also saying he regrets the interaction. So that's the best that they could come up with. Like now it's just made it way worse. The guy, let's hear. Let's watch the video again. Okay, so he pulls the kid's face towards him and kisses him. Now, again, these guys are all wearing masks. So, the mask thing, I mean, that's kind of over for most sane people. But these guys are still wearing masks. But the Dalai Lama's trying to make out with some Indian kid. So the kid's like, all right, now touching his face in a weird way. This isn't teasing. This is just creepy and bizarre. It's like the guy's lost sense of where he is, and this is how he behaves behind closed doors. Why is a kid on his lap in the first place, right? I talked a little bit about this yesterday, that when you are a spiritual person, you need less and less physical contact to express love and affection, right? It becomes, more and more subtle, and especially to, strangers or other people. If you're a spiritual leader, in the Sajmark tradition, like someone who is, in a higher spiritual region has to be careful not to, touch a kid on the top of the head or something like this, because it would open up spiritual points, right? And the kid's just not ready for it. So it's like, when you're some sort of a spiritual guru, there should be no kids on your lap, especially nowadays with all the weirdness. I mean, there's just no reason for it, right? And this itself should make people uncomfortable, right? Like he doesn't know this kid. And he goes head to head. Stares at the kid uncomfortably.
And suck my tongue.
And then he asks the kid to suck his tongue. The kid immediately backs off because that's weird as F, right? Like, that's a weird thing when, somebody's, like, a lover or something like that, right? Like, suck your what? Like, what's like, what is happening here, right? And this isn't teasing. Teasing? Like, this isn't teasing. And again, socially inappropriate. He's a spiritual leader. And so to come up with teasing, let's finish this thing up here. And he kisses on the lips. How's that teasing, right? All these guys have masks. People are laughing. And and then they go head to head here, right? Again. It's creepy as F. And so there's no teasing there. What about, like, that was not teasing. There's no explanation for it other than he's really weird and creepy. And God knows what he's doing when he's behind closed doors with kids, right? And so that was just like some kind of weird, like, glitch out on his part where he forgot he was in public, like an open mic. And he's doing this weird behavior, and it's something he does all the time. He just forgot he was in public, and he's getting old or whatever it is. But that's not teasing. Asking someone to suck your tongue isn't teasing. How is that teasing? Like, what's funny about that? How is that a joke? Like, for him to come out and say it's a joke, but there's no explanation, so it sucks for him, because the only explanation is that he's a creepy MNFer. He's a pedo or some, whatever else weird stuff. And that, he was teasing, right? Like, it's just, the whole thing was cringy. Like, it's hard to watch, right? And, like I said in my other video, he won't lose followers because people are just, it's just how it is, right? Like, he's pretty much set. So there's that. So the Fetermens have kind of replaced the Baldwins. Like, the way I used to cover the Baldwins, I now cover the Fetermens. And the Fetermens like to post on Twitter. I don't know. I haven't checked out their Instagram account. However you celebrated today or didn't, I hope you were surrounded by love. She's such a loving person. So there are some satanic bunny pictures. There's their dogs sleeping with their kid on the floor for some reason. There's this witch and her ogre, her pet ogre, hanging out for a little bit. There's the family going out for some dumplings. They're just so weird. Every year I look forward to Easter so I can reintroduce this photo of John Fetermen in jorts to everyone. There she is. There's the bunny. There are the jorts. Is it really time to be humiliating your husband when he's just fresh out of his depression? And then in his reader's era, and I'm into it, he's in his reader's area because he's got reading glasses, and she's into it. Just so weird. And then, I don't know, some kind of Mario thing here she's got going on. There are kids doing push-ups. And there's the Jane Pauley interview.
Married to me.
Married to me. That's the married to me one. But this is the thing here with John Fetermen. So here's Senator John Fetermen, check mark. This ruling by a hard right Trump appointed judge is simply boop. This is nothing more than another attempt by the GOP to take away rights of women and implementing a nationwide abortion ban. Mifepristone remains safe and 100% legal in PA, We will fight this and we will win. So, what is this idea of that judges are corrupt here, right? That a right-wing judge appointed by Trump will rule against something that's, shouldn't be ruled against because he's corrupt. Are you a conspiracy theorist, Fetterman? Is that what they taught you in depression school? In the insane asylum, treatment facility? Is that what they taught you? Is that there's conspiracy theory? So this is a conspiracy theory, right? That Trump appointed a hard right judge and the judge ruled against something. Here's the Washington Post. Friday's dueling decision over key abortion drug thrusts Food and Drug Administration into unprecedented legal bind, imperiling its authority to approve or regulate medications, legal scholars say. Texas abortion pill threatens FDA. That abortion pill is safe in Fetermens state. In Pennsylvania, you can still get it. So yeah, that's the Fetermens.
I'm the father of 2 young women, so there's a part of me that would be absolutely delighted to see TikTok banned. It is a scarily addictive app with 150 million US users, including 2 out of 3 teenagers.
TikTok blows.
But the more carefully I think about it, the more I worry. And when I look at the legislation being proposed that would enable the government to ban TikTok, I see a frightening Orwellian law that should send chills down every American's spine.
Chills. It should, Orwellian. He's another conspiracy theorist here.
The argument for banning TikTok is straightforward. It's owned by a Chinese company and could be forced to obey the diktats of the Chinese government. That is an appropriate concern, even though there is no evidence that this has ever happened. What malign behavior could TikTok engage in? First, it could collect data from its users and send that over to Beijing.
And the Chinese intelligence community could comb through the millions of hours of Americans' kids doing goofy dances.
But if Beijing wants that information, it has many, many ways to get it. All the most popular apps collect some kind of personal user data, and they all share with third parties. There is a much better way to solve this problem, a comprehensive data privacy law that would protect all Americans' data and give people the right to stop companies from using, misusing, and selling it.
Yeah, that will never happen. Like he's just admitted that they could easily get rid of the spying of these companies. But these companies work for the government. They work for the NSA, or they're connected with all this. And these companies rely on spying to produce that's their big source of income, right? Without spying, all these social media platforms would fold. It's the spying that's worth whatever you're engaging in on social media. It's the spying on you that's, imperative. Like I've had times where my wife and I were walking, didn't have a phone on me or whatever. We talked about something outside, like we're, in the country. And the next day on Facebook, there's some ad for it. Like, like there's times I can't even figure out how they knew that I wanted something or we were talking about something. It's happened so many times and it's kind of freaky because that's how they, anytime I search for some product, it shows on Amazon, it shows up on Facebook. It's like, they're not connected, but they are. And so we all know about it. And the spying is how they make their money. What he's saying about TikTok, who knows what they're capable of in terms of mind control stuff or whatever it is, right? But TikTok, the younger generation is obsessed with it. It's a sucky app. I don't, from my experience of it, when people send me videos from it, it's to me the worst. I'd rather see a video on Twitter if I use a video here. YouTube's the best because you can control the volume. Instagram and TikTok are the worst because usually you can't control the volume. It's usually in tall form or whatever it is, right? But everyone's moved towards phones. They do most things on their phones and not on computers anymore. And TikTok is, kind of winning all that battle. But the information's there and they could stop it. but it would collapse this whole, these social media platforms would all fold.
Unfortunately, taking on big tech is a much more difficult battle than bashing China. Most technologists I spoke to felt it would be simple to block information transfers by housing all data in US servers and monitoring its use, something TikTok has already committed to doing. Google and other American tech platforms operate in Europe under similar data restrictions. There might even be better techniques that do not artificially divide data by geography. The second fear about TikTok is that it would transmit anti-American information through its platform, becoming a subtle vehicle for China.
That's the whole, that's everything on social media right now, right? There's anti-American information out there at every platform.
Chinese propaganda. So how would we feel if we learned that a Chinese media company has started a cable news channel that broadcasts sometimes anti-American messages? That is already legal. The United States hasn't banned China's CCTV, or for that matter, Qatar's Al Jazeera, both government-owned media platforms. If we ban TikTok, will we also ban Chinese media companies?
Foreign countries already have their claws into America and Americans, right? And so, but it's not the TikTok we have to worry about. Apparently it's the AI. We'll get back to that in a moment. We know the AI is also trying to take over Americans' minds and all these things. Someone asked an autonomous AI to destroy humanity. This is what happened. It was promoted to establish dominance and attain immortality. This video shows exactly the steps to do it. I don't know where the video is. Is that it there? So I guess this is some comprehensive plan to destroy humanity. It's a 24-minute video. And, you don't need an AI bot to destroy humanity because humanity's destroying itself. This civilization can't stand. But it's got all these things here. This is what it came up with. And why would you be putting ideas into AI's head, right? And so there's that. So this is great. Somebody sent me this. When you accidentally say Corey Feldman in the mirror 3 times. That's classic. Classic Feldman, like Beetlejuice. That's a great meme. Sherry Shepard has been killing it at the gym as she gives fans a glimpse of her workout. One of my viewers sent me this because of my meme.
Because no one thinks we have the balls to pull this off.
So here she is. There they are. Sherry Shepard is, and this is, she's dipping them. She's teabagging that. She's teabagging the tire there. The viewers, pointed out the meme that Sherry Shepard has the balls to pull it off. Leaked U.S. documents spark fear in Russian pro-war blogging community. ISJ. I don't know what this is about. Somebody sent it to me.
We're seeing the increase in use of Iranian-made drones.
Sabrina Singh,
and the
Defense Department deputy spokesperson.
Shipment of those drones to Russia. We're seeing Russia employing them on the battlefield. So in terms of, that would be more of a supply question between Russia and Iran. But in the long term, I think we can anticipate that Russia's going to continue to use these drones, which is why we're giving them the counter UAS equipment that we did. And I'm just looking at, I know you
just giving away your taxpayer dollars to the Ukraine.
You mentioned the senior defense official that spoke to some of this, but one of the things that we announced in the package yesterday was counter UAS laser guided rocket systems. These are just one of the systems, along with the Vampires that we have.
They got Vampires too. Apparently, they're giving them to the Ukraine.
Promised to the Ukrainians. These are all going to help with counter UAS capabilities.
And these capabilities, are they particularly
Let's go back here to where she touches her hair while the guy's asking her question.
And these capabilities, are they particularly...
That smile and the hair like, that's the difference between having a general up there or somebody who knows things about a military and having, like, you know, a spokesmodel.
expensive to use? Is that a concern going into the Pentagon's thinking? For example, a counter-UAS gun is a little cheaper than firing some exquisite missiles. So are you looking to help the Ukrainians defeat these drones for cheaper than having to use advanced air defense systems?
We're giving the Ukrainians what they need right now on the battlefield.
We'll give them anything they need. It's an open checkbook. Anything they need, we'll give it to them. We don't care. We don't care. I mean, it's just your money.
No matter the expense, as you can see from our commitment.
No matter how much it costs, we just give it to them. I mean, you know, it's not my money, right? Well, it's kind of my money, a little bit of it. Mostly it's not.
And we're going to continue to do that. We, the president, the secretary have said we're with Ukraine for as long as it takes. And so we're going to...
I don't care if it costs a gazillion dollars. Yeah, we'll do it. It costs quadrillion dollars. We'll keep on, whatever it is. Hundreds of billions of dollars. We don't care. I mean, whatever. It's open. When they need something, we're giving it to them.
Keep providing them the capabilities that they need.
Exactly. That's a effective plan for an economy that's crumbling and people who are suffering in your country. Just keep on handing over your wealth to the Ukrainians and get kickbacks and let them launder the money. That's how it works. Russia pro-war bloggers have responded to the leak of what reported to be a confidential U.S. military documents covering a possible Ukrainian counteroffensive with speculative anxiety, according to the Institute of Study of War. There's an Institute for the Study of War. The U.S.-based think tank said Friday that several prominent Russia mil bloggers are fixated on the possibility that the released documents are disinformation deliberately leaked to confuse the Russian military. There's growing speculation that the Ukrainian troops will launch a counteroffensive in the coming months in a bid to regain territory for occupying Russian forces. The Russian military spent the last few months attempting to capture the Ukrainian city of... Well, this is the thing here. This is all going to end up in World War III. Whatever events unfold, this is going to end up in nuclear war. Tech CEO charged in $175 million fraud.
This morning, Charlie Javis, founder of the financial and nonprofit
Charlie
Frank, could be facing up to 100 years in prison, accused of defrauding J.P. Morgan Chase out of millions.
Frank kind of represented that as a name because it just meant honest.
How many times have we seen a woman CEO who is somehow a fraudster, right? Like, they're pushing all this stuff about, and now, again, I'm not saying these stories are true, any of them. I don't believe any of it. I mean, I don't believe any of it as fact. I don't believe any of it as fiction. I don't care. I just cover what they're presenting in the show. But there's lots of characters in the show who are women CEOs who end up being complete scammers.
Federal investigators allege Frank was a fraud. They say 31-year-old Javis, who made the prestigious Forbes magazine 30 under 30 list, didn't scam students, but scammed the bank by
way to go.
Falsely and dramatically inflating the number of customers of her company, claiming 4.25 million customers or users when the real number was under 300,000.
Kaboom. So, another fraudster. So then there was this. YouTube recommended this to me.
You are watching one of the most popular classes at one of the country's best colleges, Yale University.
Yale. Yale's been responsible for so much. They're right close to that place, SH place. They had the guy who was supposed to be the villain in that story went to Yale for treatment. They have Skull and Bones, which created the CIA, and all these other. They've been into this whole getting into kids' emotional state, right? Getting into children's, the whole emotional, psychological aspect of public schools is coming from Yale, and that senator in Connecticut, all these things. Very, just mind control stuff going on there, right?
Our humanity.
But here, theology professor Miroslav Volf teaches students something they rarely learn in school: how to live a meaningful life.
Kaboom. You're not going to learn that in Yale.
When one starts to ask oneself these questions,
There's Arnold Schwarzenegger's ex-school. These celebrities, they just don't age naturally. I mean, they get these life-sucking, she's a Kennedy, right? She's a part of the Kennedy crime family.
matters most. Why do I want this? What should I want? We can get really confused.
The goal is not to constantly have to think about what kind of life is worth living. The goal is for that vision of a good life to become one's second nature.
Now, Volf
Kaboom. He's teaching you how to get self-worth at Yale.
and his co-authors are sharing their toolkit for this in the new book, Life Worth Living.
They wrote a book.
Guide to what matters most.
You say in the beginning, this book could wreck your life. Is that because you think that for many people, once they ask these questions, all hell's going to break loose?
Yeah, they may radically change the course of life.
Yeah, that book. You're going to read a book, it's going to wreck your life. What book ever did that, right?
He says the first...
I mean, maybe to specific people. Like I read, some of the books I read from, all of them to one extent or another, and some of the books more so than others, from the Sajmarg literature, were transformative, but they're not for everybody, right? Not everyone who read it would be transformed by it. Like, people can have a powerful reaction to a book, but the majority of people don't. Like, it's just,
Step to finding a life worth living. Reassess what you think makes you happy.
Wow, you got to reassess what you think makes you happy. You think things make you happy, but they don't.
We want what we see that other people want.
Too often, he says, we equate the trivial, like how much money we earn and what things we can buy, with real success.
Trouble with money.
Wait, you're saying that money and success aren't success? And that they don't make you happy? Well, this is groundbreaking, right? Been covered this for years here. Maria Shriver and her husband, who banged her maid on her bed, right? And fathered a kid, right? He was a successful governor. She came from a prestigious family, and it's on the Today Show, all these things, right? And so I cover that here. These celebrities are the most miserable people, rich people, ultra wealthy people are the most, entitled, miserable people. And that materiality doesn't make you happy. And it's not groundbreaking when I cover it. Right? The evidence is overwhelming. And this guy wrote a book on it at Yale, and now they're getting around to this.
Is that pretty soon money morphs from being a means to achieve certain end to being an end in itself.
So
whoa, cool. Did you put that in your book? Because that's brilliant. Right? What?
How does somebody stop on the road to money and go, wait a minute, do I have enough? What is enough?
The question can be simply, what am I losing by pursuing monetary success? What am I getting? And what am I losing?
All right. So, just the kind of remedial reporting you expect from the Today Show. Alec P. Baldwin is seen wearing a glucose monitor amid his rust-shooting legal drama as he's managed his diabetic condition. One of my viewers sent me this, but here he is. Well, that's not him. He's somewhere. Here he is. Where's the glucose monitor? He's just looking more and more homeless. And the guy's just beaten down by his... Oh, there it is. Kaboom. Wow. What baboon is this? Like, what's happening there? Looking very, happy about the paparazzi. That woman just wrecked him. He wasn't great before, but Hilaria got her. Here he is high-fiving at some dude. This guy's freezing. Alec is dressed for summer. Everyone else has got... it's like he wanted people to see his glucose monitor. Everyone else is wearing winter coats. It's cold there in New York. It's always cold. like and he's just wearing this shirt so we can see his glucose monitor. Everyone else is dressed for winter. He's in a t-shirt here, so you guys can see that. Yeah, he knows the paparazzi's going to see it. Poor Alec, he's getting diabetes. See, look at this guy. This guy coming up to him. He's on the phone. He can't just put his phone down and talk to Alec, right? It's just so fake. There he is walking around again, being all stern. Like all these people are wearing coats. They're all, freezing. Alec is the only one in a t-shirt because, you got to be able to see his glucose monitor. So that's fake. Wonderful Pistachios lets robotic dogs out. That's stupid. To let the dogs out is one of my, when these sayings that just become, it makes it to a certain level of people, like really uncool, goofy people, and then, that's the saying, I got this. Like every time I hear it, I cringe, right? But anyways, that's not. Here we go. This is one of these Boston Dynamic World Takeover robots.
Spot does it. Obediently. Good boy.
Good boy. Go shoot some. go RoboCop some people. Way to go, Spot. Biden blames Trump for Afghanistan withdrawal mess, then sneaks away to Camp David. Well, they blame everything on Trump. That's, certainly not new. I'm just not going to watch this guy. That's just... If is Tiffany Trump taking Ivanka's place as Donald's first daughter? Move over, Prince Harry. There's a spare taking the spotlight. The New York Post has some great, funny writing. Donald Trump's right-hand daughter, Ivanka Trump, was conspicuously absent from his post-indictment primetime speech in Mar-a-Lago, but we're told insiders also noted that Trump's other daughter, Tiffany, was front and center for the occasion. If you look at Tiffany's history, she has never really been involved in the political stuff, a source says. But now Trump's favorite daughter, Ivanka, is clinging to the outer edges of the political picture. Tiffany is trying to be supportive daughter. So there they are together. Trump and Tiffany. There they are walking together. She looks like, unless she's in heels, but she looks like she's about 6 foot tall. She's the Marla Maples' daughter, I think, right? Whatever. Can Donald Trump prove he's a wife guy? What? I guess that's to dispute that there he is with his fist up. He's a cheater. Like, if you're a Trumper, admit that he's a cheater. It's everywhere. It's been documented. In all of his divorces, there was cheating allegations. Trump himself, the grab him by the you-know-what, right? He was married when he said that, and he's just, he's that guy, right? He's a cheater. Donald Trump delivers blistering Easter message while Melania breaks silence after arrest. All right, what has he got here?
I don't need banks. We have a lot of cash. I built a great business.
Where do you store that cash?
Business with my family. Built a fantastic business.
Woo! Ivanka's not there. Woo! Woo! Woo!
I have a son here who's done a great job, and I have another son here who's done...
He's not. He sucks. The second one sucks.
A great job.
Oh, he's okay, too.
Tiffany.
He's playing to Tiffany.
And Ivanka and Barron will be great someday. He's tall. He is tall, and he's smart.
He's tall and he's smart.
But I have a great family, and they've done a fantastic job, and we appreciate it very much.
Okay, that's not the blistering statement that I was led to believe. Happy Easter, the former First Lady tweeted above a photo of a pink rose. So she didn't say anything. And then this was Trump. Here it is. Happy Easter to all, including those that dream endlessly of destroying our country. Classic Donald. Even you guys get a happy Easter from the Donald. you country-destroying people. Because they are incapable of dreaming about anything else. Okay, so the Happy Easter thing is over, right? Those that are so incompetent, they don't realize they're having a border and a powerful wall is a good thing. Having voter ID, all paper ballots, same-day voting will quickly end massive voter fraud to all the weak and pathetic rhinos, radical left Democrats, social Marxists, and communists who are killing our nation. Remember, we will be back. Oh, yeah, and Happy Easter. Right? We'll get to his comments in a moment here. Ben Affleck goes viral for speaking impeccable Spanish while promoting Air. Well, because he comes from Boston, right? Everyone knows that Boston's a part of Spain. Like I've kept this up. I missed it the last time. I've kept this up just for that one joke. Just a crap all over Hilaria Baldwin. But anyways, I got a bunch of comments, a few Madonna comments, Madam Expiration Date comments from her fans, which is great. I'm going to get to these things with Trump and all these things. But, this stuff with the Dalai Lama and the stuff with Trump, it's all just a sign of a system that can't be saved. Now, the Dalai Lama, whatever he is, and, I don't know that much about Buddhism. I know that there is, from Babaji said that there were some of these people who had reached high levels of spirituality, or at least, some level. But they don't believe in God, right? And, they believe in reincarnation, but not God. Nirvana is something else. The negation of self is core to their beliefs. And just like any other religious leadership, they get perverted. It happens in every religion. The guys at the top get perverted. And, I got so many comments from people on my other channel that are freaked out by what they saw with the Dalai Lama asking a kid to suck his tongue. Like, it's just so weird. And, but it's acceptable. And to tie this to the Donald Trump thing, I don't think anybody's really that concerned that Donald Trump banged a porn star. I don't care. And he paid her off. Like, I don't care. Compared to this stuff I see on a daily basis, it's not that bad. Certainly not a leader, a guy who cheats on his wives multiple times. And, he has girls that he puts up in apartments. I mean, he's a serial cheater. I mean, remember when Tiger Woods was humiliated for doing basically the same thing? Of course, Bill Clinton. But, people just don't care anymore because it's gotten so depraved. We don't expect any better from our leadership. And, the Trumpers are denying he's a cheater because they're just delusional. But, he's a serial cheater, Trump is. And he banged this, kind of creepy porn star and paid her off. And, of course, she's a porn star and wouldn't, not that I think she's any worse than anybody else. I mean, I make fun of it, but I don't care, right? Like, I'm not, judging morality is no longer a thing. You really, it's just, it's a cesspit, and we're all in it. And I don't think the nation cares about Donald Trump's paying off a porn star. I don't think they care. I don't think they care that he banged one and cheated on his wife, because those days are way over. When I grew up as a kid, this thing would ruin a person. Like, there wasn't even a thought of some guy getting outed for banging a porn star, just like guys like Gary Hart who cheated on his wife, and these other people, these other politicians that say nothing of. And there was any scandals about kids, not that they wasn't happening, but we just didn't know about it, right? The Dalai Lama sucking a kid's tongue, I mean, it was unthinkable something like that would happen years ago. I mean, people would have freaked out, but there's just no moral compass anymore. And this shows you that the system has collapsed because people just don't, don't care what people do. Everything's so depraved and so corrupt that it's, there's nothing to be upset about, right? Because everything is, we've seen it all practically, Even something new is, just a little bit worse than the stuff before that. And so Madonna, Madam Expiration Date, wants her old face back. So I did a short video of this. I just released the longer version, like I said, that finally got greened, was monetized. And this person writes to me, bro mad she sold out her tour. Now, I don't know exactly what I said, but I was kind of surprised she sold out her tour. And another person wrote, so he's saying I'm mad she sold out her tour, but I was like, she sold out her tour? And then this person writes, she's a great singer and her songs are mostly classics. They're not classics. No one listens to them now, right? They're horrible songs. 300 million sold. Sales don't lie. Tickets to her now tour sold out. She's killing it, and you're mad, LOL, right? Now, I wasn't mad she sold out her tour. I was surprised, and I shouldn't have been, because I didn't know that there's that level of desperation in people, lack of taste and understanding of quality, and they would go see this old, ghoul, soulless hag up there on the stage, belting out these horrible songs that she promoted by being a shock jock, and she just shocked people and was constantly getting her name in the media, but her songs weren't good. They weren't classic. Like, I can't remember one song from Madonna. Like, I can't think of it. Was it like Material Girl? That sucked. Like, there's no classic Madonna songs. She said herself she wasn't the best singer or dancer, but she was good at shocking people, and it doesn't work anymore because now she just makes people cringe. But it was oh my God, there's people that were willing to, like, I couldn't imagine going to a Madonna concert. Like, I mean, I wouldn't go to any concert at this point, but I can't even think that a person would say, oh, I'm going to spend whatever, $50 to $200 to see Madonna. Like, it wasn't being mad. It was like, oh my God, there's like these groveling golem-like creatures out there that have such sad, pathetic lives. They have nothing better to do than go see Madam Expiration Date, right? Like that. It's not anger. I don't care if you throw your money away at Madam Expiration Date. I don't care if you guys give all your money away to her, right? I don't care. Like, it's not my problem. Go ahead. It's your freedom of choice, right? But it's pathetic, right? Shockingly pathetic. I mean, to sell out the whole tour. She didn't just sell out like a little bit of it. She sold out the whole tour. And so, I don't know what size venues she's playing, but that's, I mean, people are still Madonna fans. And she wants her old face back. And then someone else wrote to me, Feterman stops leaving his bed. Strokes are no joke. Like, trying to make me look like a bad person for making fun of Fetermen. And Fetermen. And so listening to you talk gave me tinnitus. I believe that's how it's expressed. Well, stop listening to me talk, right? Like, hey, doctor, it hurts when I do this. Well, don't do this, right? There are a couple of comments from Trumpers here. And, I've seen a number of them. They've kind of, they've disappeared a little bit. So one person wrote "fish boy?" ? I think that was an older comment, and this person said "fish boy," and then the person said this later. He's being persecuted for. First, they wrote a comment saying "fish boy" with a question mark, and then the second they thought about it for a while and it stewed, and then they coughed up this brilliant comment. He is being persecuted for standing for American people. They have been desperately searching for any possible crime that he committed since 2015 and found nothing. So I'm unsubscribing from this channel after hearing your comments on this. And then there's an eggplant emoji. And so apparently, I just looked it up. That means the eggplant represents a a phallic symbol. So he's calling me a dick, the person. Because, because of Trump being, the saintly person, they're just trying to persecute him. And then the person said, the evil is not him, you are blinded. The thing about Trump now, and I might have touched on this a little bit on my other video, I don't know. The thing about Trump now is that we've had a Trump presidency, and it went poorly. and he rushed out the vax, Operation Warp Speed, worked on COVID, and then just was pathetic throughout the whole election process, and then has been a joke ever since. And the energy just went out of it, right? What made Trump, sometimes you'll watch a good TV show. My wife and I have experienced this a couple times lately, that they put together a good quality show. And then it should have ended, like it just should have ended on a high note. But they, because of the money, they don't have any good script ideas, and the show sort of ran its course. It's jumped the shark. And they keep on putting out seasons, and it wrecks retroactively. This has happened in the Marvel universe as well, as they've gone full woke. Something Star Wars, and it retroactively sucks. It makes the good seasons bad because they didn't know when to get out, right? It happens in the careers of athletes. There's a time where it just needs to end. And Trump, after his 4 years of comedy and things that were pretty fun to watch in various ways, his ending of his presidency showed you everything you needed to know. He wasn't going to solve the problem, and all the QBs who were waiting for those thousands of sealed indictments, and all the Trumpers who were waiting for him to make America great again, realized that they had been lied to and played, which is funny in itself, right? Trump, the reaction of Rachel Maddow and the left media to Trump, and then now the Trumpers, butthurt Trumpers who realize they've been lied to, that's all funny. It's good. And you got fooled, when you get conned and fooled, other people get to laugh at you because you were, fooled, right? And it's funny. Like, you got worked by this guy. It was so obvious all his life. If you watch the, Trump back when he was on David Letterman till the time he was on The Apprentice, and Trump's whole career has been a flim-flam man and a con man and all these, he's never been presidential or heroic or any of these things, which was great because the presidency is a joke, and that's what made it kind of cool. But, the scam eventually ends, as it will with America. And if you haven't caught on by now, then that's, shame on you, right? Not that I'm shaming you, shame on yourself. Like, it's embarrassing. You're just an embarrassment. Any Trump person is just embarrassing themselves, right? The same way any Biden person is embarrassing them, or any Hillary person is embarrassing themselves, right? Because that's, they should know by now. Like, Trump is a known entity, and he's always been, a criminal. He's always done things that are criminally oriented, and he's bragged about it, right? He's always walked that fine line. And, we live in times where there are no heroes. There's no way of saving the system. The Dalai Lama is asking kids to suck his tongue. So this is where we are at. And you can, do whatever you're going to do with your life and enjoy what's left of our civilization before it implodes. But it's going to implode. I don't know when, but it's happening. And then, we'll see what happens next. And it's going to be completely foreign to us because this is all we know. And that is what it is. Some of us will survive, some of us won't. And, it won't be the same. It won't be anything like what we're used to now, but it might be better for some of you young people who have, given up any hope of a future. Maybe that'll be, something that you'll be really into. Your soul is possibly prepared for, some people's souls are going to be prepared for this thing that's going to happen. And I don't know whether mine is or not. I don't know whether I have it in me, energy-wise. My wife and I are certainly working on, farming and getting back to, just all the stuff that we enjoy doing. And I don't know if it'll be enough. I don't know if we have enough in the tank, whatever it is. But, some of you will. Like, some people will survive this, and maybe, unless everyone dies. And then, what's the difference? Then what's the point? But there might be some young people who are floundering. They're lost. They don't know what to do. And then boom, the apocalypse fully hits, and then they thrive. They're just ready for it. They have all this, they've been waiting for it, right? And there are some people that are prepared like that. And, for the rest of us, we can try to leave them as much as we can to help them, the next generation. That's what we're supposed to do, especially us older folks. Leave them enough so that they have, like not wreck it any more for them than we have to. And that's just about all we can do. Like, especially these people in power. But they won't. They'll do as much damage as they can before the collapse. And that's just sad. And you guys are supporting it, you're enablers, then, you're part of the problem. Only spirituality will save this world. This Paul Romano, definitely reporting from the Apocalypse and the Ascension. Everyone have a blessed day and be grateful.